Proctor. Hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to talk about how to make money, how to generate leads, the best leads in the least expensive way. I'm always asked by real estate agents, how do I get the best leads? But how do I get the best leads without breaking my bank account? Well, first of all, let me say sometimes it's a good idea to spend more on marketing to generate great leads, because what you really should be focused on is not what you spend, but your ROI, your return on investment. But today I'm going to focus on the obvious, least expensive, best ways to generate the very best leads, because that's what I promised you here in our session. So if you haven't checked in, do so right now. Let us know what marketplace you're in. We get lots of referrals here in Craig Proctor World. So check in, let us know the city, the state that you're operating in. I would say number one has to be referrals. Okay, that's your least expensive way to generate the highest quality leads. Are prospects that have been referred to you. They could be past clients. They could be friends and family, your sphere of influence. So there's very specific things that we can do to encourage referrals. In fact, when I ask most agents, hey, what's your number one source of business? Many agents will say, my number one source of business is referrals. And I'll ask them, okay, well, what do you do to encourage that behavior? What do you do specifically to get referrals? And many real estate agents will kind of look at me with a blank look and they'll say, well, I really don't do much at all. And I say to them, well, imagine what would happen if you actually tried, if you actually had a referral system. So how many of you agree with that you get a lot of referrals, but you don't really perhaps have as specific or as strong of a referral system, specific things that you do to encourage this behavior. So do check in, let us know where you're from, and let me know if this is making sense. You can smash the like button. Would appreciate that. So let's get back to referrals here. A few questions I have for you can answer in the chat. The first question when it comes to referrals is, why do people refer to you? Okay, why do you get referrals? Why do your sphere, your past clients, friends, family, why do people refer business to you? Okay, why would a client refer you to somebody else? Okay, let me know what that answer is, because I want to shatter a few myths. I want to have a good discussion here with you today. Now, what many agents would say to me when I ask, well, why do people send you referrals? They say, Craig, because I do a good job. Okay, now many of this, let me know if you accept that. Smash the like button. If you do a good job, you should get referrals. But the crazy thing is you do a good job for all of your clients, but they don't all send you referrals. So we have to recognize this. Most of us believe that, the reason I would get referrals is because I do a good job. However, you do a great job for all your clients, but very few of them send you referrals. So it has to be more than that. So here's my next question. How do people know to send you referrals? How do people know to send you referrals? Some of you are like, I don't know, I do a good job. Some people refer, but specifically, how would they know to send you referrals? Let me know in the comments. How would they know to even send you referrals? Now, some of you are going to be typing in things like, well, I ask them for referrals. I ask for referrals. Okay, we're going to call that your referral offer. So what is your referral offer? How do you ask people for referrals? Do you say, hey man, I need some money? Do you feel bad about this? Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody? I used to coach my son's hockey team, and we had one of the parents that was a realtor show up every Saturday and Sunday for the practices and the games. And I got to say, this made my skin crawl, because he was asking the parents over and over again, every time he saw them, do you know anybody? Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody? And that's part of the reason why we don't ask for referrals, I believe, is it kind of makes us feel bad. It kind of makes it feel self-serving, as if we're saying, I need to make some money. Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody? So I want to share with you today a much better way to ask for referrals that'll be, first of all, much more effective, but it'll help you feel comfortable. And if you felt more comfortable asking for referrals, you would do it more often. In fact, on my sales team, we had this written into the listing presentation. So as soon as the listing was signed, there was another little piece of paper that we had our sellers, or if it was a buyer, the buyer sign, acknowledging our referral offer. Okay, before I get into the referral offer and how that works, and you guys are really going to like this, a couple more questions. If somebody refers a client to you, do you give them something? Like, do you give them something? Do you give them a bottle of wine? Do you take them out for dinner? Do you give them cash? You're not supposed to do that maybe, but do you even thank them? I've heard that a lot before from clients who are like, I sent that realtor a referral and I never even got as much as a thank you. Well, look, you want to make sure that you're encouraging and rewarding this behavior, right? So make sure at a minimum, you at least thank them. But how many of you have some kind of gift or something? Let me know in the chat, in the comments here. Do you have some kind of gift that you give them? I'm looking for good ideas. Like a gift certificate, a bottle of wine, you take them out to dinner, you do something nice for them. What do you do for clients who send you a referral? Okay, what do you do in that situation? Okay, now, you're doing all this stuff, right? You're asking for referrals. Maybe you've got a gift. Why aren't you getting more referrals? I'm going to share with you a quick story. When I first got into real estate, sold not many homes my first year, but I met one of my past clients who loved me, or I think she loved me, and always was very friendly, great person to deal with. And at the local mall, I meet her, and she introduces me to her sister. Says, "Oh, this is my sister," whatever her name is, I can't remember. But she just bought a house here in town. And I said to my past client, who I think loves me, well, why didn't you refer to me? And my past client has this blank look on her face. She goes, honestly, I didn't even think about it. Well, that's on me, right? That's my fault because I wasn't programming my clients for referrals. Write that down, programming. We want to program our clients for referrals, but in a nice way. This cannot feel or sound self-serving. Number one, it doesn't work that well, right? And number two, it makes you feel bad. And if you feel bad, you're not going to be asking for referrals. So again, I'm going to share you a much better approach. Look at some of the crazy things we're taught here in real estate. The biggest compliment you can give me is to send me a referral. Oh my God, I'm going to spend all day trying to refer clients to that realtor because I want that compliment. Folks, this is what I want you to do in place. What I want you to do is I want you to say this. Anyone you refer to me, I am going to donate a percentage of that transaction, you can decide, to your worthy cause, something that you believe in. You're not talking about yourself anymore. See how much better that would work? So I don't know what's touched your life, but there's something that I know has touched your life. It might be your worthy cause. We call this worthy cause referral marketing, by the way. And we show you how to do the marketing and how to do this properly. But your worthy cause might be the Cancer Society, the Heart and Stroke Foundation, homeless people. If you're in the military, it might be wounded warriors, right? If you're an animal lover, it might be like something to do to help the animals. Look, there's something you believe in. Would it be easier, you guys let me know in the comments, would it be easier if instead of saying, hey, do you know anybody? Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody that's looking to buy or sell? The biggest compliment you could give me is if you refer somebody. Instead of that, you say at the end of your listing, you get the listing paperwork signed, say, hey, one more thing. I'm really going to do a good job for you here. And if I do a good job for you and you feel like I'm a good realtor, I have this worthy cause. There's something that I believe in. So here was my story. My daughter was sick and she had to go to the local sick kids hospital and she was in there for like a month. So I would tell this story. So my worthy cause was the local sick kids hospital. And I built my story around how this hospital helped my daughter when I was in need before I had any money, right? You have a story like that, right? There's something you believe in. How many of you would agree that if you were talking about something that you really believe in your heart, something you're passionate about, that you'd feel more comfortable talking about that with your client and saying, hey, by the way, if you think I do a good job here and you want to refer me to somebody, I have this worthy cause. It's the Sick Kids Hospital. My cousin died of cancer. My aunt had a stroke. Whatever your worthy cause is, and you talk about why this worthy cause is important to you, how it's impacted you, and you say, for anyone you would refer to me, I want you to know I donate a portion of that commission to this worthy cause. Okay, now, some of you will ask, well, should it be the prospect's worthy cause? Should it be the buyer sellers? You could try that, but here's why I like it being your worthy cause. Because if it's something you're passionate about, you're more likely going to talk about it. It's something you truly believe in because it's something that's touched your life. Let me know, smash the like button if this is making sense. Smash the like button the blue like button if this is making sense. Instead of talking about ourselves, hey, do you know anybody? Do you know anybody? When we give them something, it feels like a trade. Hey, if you know anybody, I'll give you a couple $100. I'll send you, we'll go out to Panera Bread. I'll give you a gift certificate. It just feels not right. At least to me, it just didn't feel right. But when I started talking about how if you send me referrals, I'm donating a portion of each referral to the local Sick Kids Hospital. I want you to think about what your version. Now, what we do is we create some marketing around this. So there's a little flyer, a leave behind that's attached to the listing agreement or the buyer contract, and you can promote it in your marketing. Hey, for every home we sell here at Craig Proctor Real Estate, we give a portion of our income to fill in the blank, your worthy cause. Okay, so that is one really, would you guys agree, an inexpensive way for you to increase your income without spending any more money, right? You're not like doing more marketing. You're just fixing your referral offer. You're improving your referral offer, and it will work much better. So a lot of you are already, the why that's number one on the list is so many of you are already good at getting referrals. Let's just plus what you do. We're going to plus it. We're not going to do anything like crazy, radical new. We're just going to improve what you're already doing so you get more referrals. Okay, number two are improving your ad calls and sign calls. I made a heck of a lot of money converting ad calls and sign calls. And I had a pecking order to this, and I was really good at it. Now, I wasn't in the beginning. I sucked at it, right? But over time, I got better and better and better till the fact I became really good. So I took all my ad calls and sign calls. Even though eventually I had a team, I didn't delegate this to them because it was a rainmaker activity. I can make way more money converting these ad calls and sign calls to clients. Number one on my pecking order were buyers that had a house to sell and the house was here locally in my city. Those were the best ones, right? Those were like my A leads because I'm going to get a buy-in and I'm going to get their listing. And really, I'm trying to get their listing, but the way to get a listing is every seller responds first as a buyer. So stop trying to get their listing because they're not going to sell their home in this marketplace until you can find them another home. Let's agree. You could bring them an offer for way more than what their home is worth. They ain't going to move until you can find them another place. There's massive scarcity, and they're terrified if they list and sell their home, they're not going to find another house for good reason. Okay, so the A leads were they're buying and they've got a house to sell locally. The B leads, the next leads would be, I would say, they're probably buying and they have a house to sell outside of my area. They'd probably be the next best. Right? Or of course, just people wanting to sell their house. I guess that would be number B. That would be B is somebody just wants to list their house. Then it would be somebody who wants to buy and they live outside the area. And then at the bottom of the pecking order, okay, so D would be first-time buyers that don't live in the area. Okay, the first-time buyers, they don't live in the area. They're like, oh, we're looking at your area and we're looking at all these other cities. Those are the leads I would more likely delegate. So I'm hogging the A leads and B leads. That's how I made a lot of money. Now, what kind of questions do I ask them? Okay, Craig, you said you're really good on the phone with these people. Okay, number one question I ask is, are you calling for yourself? Are you calling for yourself? Because in all these years in real estate, I don't think I made any money talking to somebody that was calling for, brother, sister, family member, or whatever. So I want to make sure I'm speaking to the decision maker. If I'm not speaking to the decision maker, I want to get the decision maker's contact information so I can speak directly to them. Why? So nothing gets lost in communication. If they won't give me the primary decision maker's contact information, I just give them the information and get off the phone. Give them the price, 4 bedrooms, whatever they want, get off the phone. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with somebody that's calling for somebody else because I ain't never made any money in 30 years talking to those people, right? So I learn. Okay, what are the things do I want to know? Where do you live? Do you live locally? Because remember, the best people are local. Do you own a house or are you currently renting? Okay, so if they say we live local and we own a house, my ears perk up, right? I'm like more interested. This is an A lead, okay? They have a house to sell. This is in my zone. These are the people I want. Okay, do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right? Okay, well, we have someone we're 100% committed to that realtor. There's a tremendous difference between realtors and what they do and how much they charge to get the job done. Would you open to meet with me as well? I'm not saying don't meet with your friend, your cousin, your buddy in real estate. I'm not saying don't. I'm saying there's a big difference between real estate agents, what they do and how much they charge. Would you be open to meeting with me as well? Okay, so I'm getting my foot in the door. We could do an entire session on the process of qualifying the prospects and what offer should I make to get the best buyers to meet with me. And these buyers have houses to sell, obviously. So I'm going to ask them, do you want to buy first or sell first? Okay, now the fact that it's an ad call, a sign call, probably means they want to buy first, but you never know. Don't guess. I made the mistake of guessing. Some of them will say, I'd rather sell first. So if the prospect says, I'd rather sell first, which is kind of unusual in this market, but if they said they want to sell first, I'm not talking about being able to find them the best home and all that kind of stuff. You got to listen. If you want to make the right offer, it doesn't matter what you think is the right offer, you ask them, are you a sell first? Are you a sell first guy? Or are you a buy first? If he's sell first, then that tells my little brain here, I better communicate a seller offer, because this guy says he wants to sell first. I better be talking about seller benefits, not making the buyer offer. Okay, don't talk about, well, I can find you other homes. Don't do that. This guy is a sell first prospect. So what should my offer be? Okay, here, first of all, is a weak, wimpy offer. Would you like a free market evaluation? I can tell you what the home down the streets. No, they already have that information. Okay, it's called the internet. So if your big offer is you're going to tell them about the house down the street that sold, your offer will fall on deaf ears, right? They will decline your offer. And then you might make the mistake of saying, well, that's a bad lead. They're not motivated. No, they're listed 2 weeks from now with another company. What would be the best offer to make a seller today, right? They said they live local. They have a house to sell. I said, do you want to buy first or sell first? Sometimes they say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, would you prefer to look around, find a home you fall in love with, then list your home? Or would you rather put your home up for sale, get it sold before you run around and get excited looking at another house? Oh no, we'd rather sell first. We don't get stuck owning 2 homes. We don't want to get excited about another place. Great. Here's my offer. Would you like to find out what you're going to net in your pocket after all the associated expenses? Boom. They don't know how to do that, but you and I know how to do it. And it's what you and I do anyway, right? When you meet with the seller, what would you do? You'd look around their house, you'd show them the comparables, you'd talk about all their, what kind of mortgage they have, penalties, the commission, all the fees associated. And you would say, if you sold your house for X amount, the most important number to you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is what you're going to net in your pocket. Here's the other thing you can say to the seller. Also, when I look at your home, I can give you inexpensive things to do, some tips, some advice, inexpensive tips and advice that you could do that wouldn't cost you much money, that would help you sell your home for $8,000 to $10,000 more. There's very inexpensive things. I'm very good at this. What are those things, folks? Clean the carpets, replace the carpets, neutralize the paint, stage the furniture, a little bit of landscaping. But again, this is something that you folks do anyway. Let me know in the comments if you do this. How many of you think you're pretty good at giving a homeowner some advice on really inexpensive things they can do, like free or it doesn't cost much money, let me know if that's something you do. Why don't we talk about this? These are things that we do when we get to the listing appointment, but you can use this, does this make sense, to get to the kitchen table. You do this once you're at the kitchen table, but this will help get you in the door, just talking about what you do. And when you talk about, hey, I'm going to show you for $0 what you're going to net in your pocket, that's not what the other agents are talking about. They're all talking about a free CMA or what the other houses. No, you're speaking different language here. And it is, in fact, the most important number for the seller. And when I look at your home, I can give you advice on what to do to prepare it for sale, so you could sell it for an extra $8,000 to $10,000 more. Now, I really like the what we can, helping you prepare your home for sale, because that requires you and I getting inside the house, right? We can't give them advice on what to do and what not to do to prepare their home for sale without looking at the property. So this offer is something they want, right? Golden rule number one, you got to offer the prospect something they want, not something we want. Number two, it has to be something that the seller, in this case, can't get anywhere else. They can't Google it. They can't Google, what am I going to net in my pocket? They can't Google, what should I do to my house to sell it for? No, this is a great offer. And if you do what I do, guys, you'll be successful. Many of you know my story. I went from as dumb as a pile of rocks to the #1 RE/MAX agent in the world within 36 months. It's an amazing story. I mean, I couldn't believe it myself, right? I dropped out of college, I dropped out of university, but I studied marketing. Now, as my business started to grow, I had a lot of opportunities, like every day I'm listing 4 or 5 houses, to go in and tweak it and pay attention. So for many of you, you're not getting enough listing appointments in a week to really, not enough repetition to tweak it and become really, really good at it, right? So, but I'm going to help you get there. But eventually, that's what I was able to do. Like if I had 5 listing appointments in a day, I could screw up the first 4, but I guarantee you by number 5, I've got my head on right. I've done some practice and I got better and I got better by figuring out what are the right things to say and the right order to say them. How many of you believe there probably is a best way to do all this? Let me know in the comments below. How many of you believe there's probably a best way to qualify the prospect? There's a best way to do the listing presentation, the buyer presentation. There's the best way to do all of this. That's what you get with Coach Craig Proctor here. I teach you my best ways. Now, I've got a couple other ideas I want to share with you on how to generate leads without spending a fortune. But let me know if this is making sense. If you could do me a big favor, just smash the like button. Maybe even give me one of those little hearts. Okay, or let me know in the comments. Are you finding this extremely helpful? This is what I do for a living. It's very gratifying to help other agents become successful. I kind of feel like it's my duty because I was so successful in a short period of time, and I feel like I need to pay it back and share with you all the things that I learned over the last 30 years because some of you are the next Craig Proctor, right? You just need someone to help you. So I hope this is making sense. If you would like to book a call with me, you can do that by going to CraigProctorCall.com. So just my name here. If someone could type that into the comments below, CraigProctorCall.com, no spaces. You can book a time on my Acuity Day Timer. Ask you a bunch of questions about what you're doing, and I will give you some advice on things that maybe you could change. If you like my advice, it's not a big sales pitch. If you like my advice, maybe you would want to be coached by me, right? Maybe you say, you know what, I feel Craig's a good fit for me. I like the fact that he's actually sold 10,000 homes, not like a lot of these coaches that have never actually made millions of dollars, and they're just talking about it. I actually did it. So you book a call with me. It costs $0 to book the call. If you didn't like it, whatever, you just hang up and that's the end of it. But all good things start with a conversation. I believe you're watching this for good reason. Now, would you guys agree I'm giving you a presentation right now? And I didn't have to be at your kitchen table to give you this presentation. This is one of the things I want to talk about next. Is it used to be that buyers and sellers, they would call a bunch of agents and interview them, and they'd sit at the kitchen table, and that's how the sellers would decide, okay, I want to list with this agent. I'm not saying that doesn't happen at all, but it's happening less often. Okay, this is a writer downer. The decision on who the seller is going to list with, that decision is now being made mostly online. Mostly online. And it's not a stretch for you to believe this, because this is how you go about things, right? If you were going to buy an expensive product or service, what's the first thing that you would do? Would you call the BMW dealership? Nope, you wouldn't do that. You go to the BMW website and you look at all the different models and the colors. Heck, sometimes I'll go into the dealership, the car dealership, I'll know more about the car than the salesperson. But even if we were going to a restaurant tonight and we wanted to go to a new restaurant, we would Google restaurants and you would look at the reviews and we would decide based on the reviews, we could see the menu. We can do that research. That's what prospects are doing to us right now. So you need to have a really good online presence, right? When people Google you, what do they see right now? It's a good test for later today. If they Google you, what do they see? Now, the fact that you're watching this, okay, this is, I'm on Facebook on my business page. And by the way, I have an invitation for all of you. How many of you would like to be in my private Facebook group? If you type into the comments below private group, I'll get you an invitation. I've got about 7,000 agents there that, I mean, it serves my purpose, honestly, because if you start mixing with agents that are making hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars using Craig Proctor coaching, you're going to be interested, right? So it's in my best interest to have you speaking to them. But it's $0. Type in private group and I'll get you an invitation to that. But because you're watching me on Facebook right now, on my business page, do you know that every single one of you have automatically been pixeled by Facebook? Okay, so pixel, like little cookies, they know that you've watched this, and some of you have realized this because you've watched me before. For the very first time you watched me, and all of a sudden you started getting all this Craig Proctor content in your newsfeed, right? Whether you wanted to or not, how many of you, let me know in the comments, started to see Craig Proctor everywhere? Okay, that's on purpose, right? Because what we're doing is we're retargeting. So I can take this training session here today and I can run this later today or tomorrow as an ad, and I can push this training, this video, this presentation out to hundreds of thousands of real estate agents that have watched Craig Proctor content before. Now, I don't know who these agents are, but Facebook does. Facebook automatically has them pixeled. But you can do this as well. So here's the strategy that you're going to use. Again, this costs $0. I want you to start going live on your business page. And in the beginning, of course, hardly anyone will be watching you, so it'll build slowly. But I want you to start talking about things that are important to buyers and sellers in your area. Okay. By the way, you can upload your database into a custom audience inside of Facebook. So you could take all the contacts in your mobile phone, you could take all the contacts in your CRM, and you can create a custom audience, right? And so right away, whatever video you create, the next day, you could push it out as an ad, okay? And it would cost you about like 2 pennies for each person that would watch this. And your presentation, just like mine, would be in their newsfeed. How many of you would agree it's getting harder and harder to get prospects to answer the phone? If you're buying leads from Zillow or Realtor, let me know in the comments if you've really noticed a shift in the last couple of years where it's getting harder and harder, way more difficult to get buyers and sellers to answer the phone. How many of you're realtors and you don't even want to answer the phone, right? So if prospects won't answer the phone, but we know they're on their phone all day long. I mean, heck, people are bring their cell phone with them to bed, to the restroom with them, right? They live with their cell phone. So it's not that they're not answering the phone. They don't want to. It's not that they didn't receive your call, but they don't want to pick it up. But you can be on their phone on social media, doing really, really good presentations. And what'll happen is when prospects in your city, in your town, start to watch your good stuff, okay, they're going to see it all the time, and they're going to get to know you. How many of you, maybe you're even watching this for the very first time, but you feel like you kind of get to know me a little bit? All right, and if you watch me enough, you'll kind of, and hopefully what we're trying to do here and what you're trying to do is we want people to know us. Obviously, you can't do business with someone you don't to know us, to like us, to build some trust and credibility, because that's how we get clients. And then what happens is some of you will do business with me. Some of you will book a call with me at craigproctorcall.com. You'll book a call. Some of you will become clients. Well, some of your buyers and sellers in your marketplace will start to see your stuff. And the crazy thing is they're going to start to feel like they know you. And eventually they start to call you. And when you get to their house, they'll say things like, oh my God, I can't believe you're really here. Like, I watch your stuff. Or they see you at the drugstore, the grocery store, and they know who you are. So these are really inexpensive strategies. The problem is, for many of you, you're doing things that are not working for you. And I know it's crazy because you know what I'm talking about. You're doing things that are not getting you results. And you don't even like doing those things. So let's think about this. I want to introduce the concept of paradigms. A paradigm is other people's habits. So when you got into real estate, you looked around at what everyone else is doing, and you did what they told you to do, and you didn't really question it. And it's very normal. It's what I did. That's what we all do. So paradigms are other people's habits. And not only do people have habits, entire industries have bad habits or paradigms. So the real estate industry is suffering from a very old paradigm because they're teaching cold calling and door knocking and sitting in open houses and chasing expired listings. And I love this one, buying leads from Zillow and Realtor. These aren't even leads, folks. This is scraped information. The prospect doesn't know this information is being given to you and 4 or 5 other realtors and 4 or 5 mortgage brokers. This is why when you call the leads, it's depressing. You have to call like 100 prospects to get 1 or 2 on the phone. And then they blow you off and they say, I didn't do that. Someone was playing with my phone. I don't remember doing that. And then you think, well, is this the right approach for me? But paradigms. We do things that are not working for us. We do things we don't like. We do things that are not getting us good results. We don't like doing them, but we keep doing them anyway. It's amazing, isn't it? We do things we don't like. It's getting us results we don't want, but we keep doing it anyway. So the first thing I would do if I was working with you is I would work on your paradigm. I would work on what you truly believe about real estate, because all that crap they taught you, right? All that stuff that they taught you controls the way you look at the world, the opportunities. So, there's an old saying that experience can be your worst teacher. The opportunity is not getting better at what you're doing. That's not the opportunity. The opportunity is not what you know. The opportunity is in what you don't know. That's where I step in. Okay, a big part of this is I help you work on the head stuff. You can have all the ideas in the world, but if you're not going to implement these ideas, if there's something holding you back inside, we got to get to the head stuff first, right? We've got to get you looking at your business, and we've got to get you reevaluating how you're spending your time, how you're spending your money. Now, this shouldn't take a long time to start kicking in. Look at my story. I mean, I'm walking the talk, right? It's very public information, right? It's very well known that I was the #1 RE/MAX agent in the world within 3 years of having my license. Now, what was I doing before I got my license? Not much. I dropped out of college. I dropped out of university. I had a bunch of part-time jobs. Nothing special about me. But I met some people that changed the way I looked at the world. Okay, and I have mentors. And those mentors helped me completely change my business and my life. Now, I'm on a mission to help you change your life. I want you to book the call with me, folks. It costs $0. You're still watching this for a reason, right? You're here for a reason. What can go wrong with this? It's just a conversation. It's craigproctorcall.com. You book a call if there's any spots available. If not, you have to go back and look, but we have limited spots. And we'll have a conversation about what you've been doing, but most importantly, what is it that you really, really want to do? We call this your heart's desire. You didn't get into real estate to make things worse. You got into real estate to make things better, right? You got into real estate thinking, you know what? If I can figure out how to make more money and have more time in my life, that equates to freedom. Freedom means you got to have the money and the time. Now, some of you have lots of money. You're making good money at this, but you've given your life up to this. You've sacrificed your entire life for your income. I've been there before. It doesn't need to be that way. You can have your cake and eat it too. You've got to implement the right marketing systems, the right technology, and the right people so you can have the income, the high income you want, and still have a life outside of real estate. I did this for 25 years. That's another important point. Some real estate agents, they come in and they can do the sprint, but they can't do the marathon, right? You see them come and go. Maybe that's you. You go like heck, you run as fast as you can. You can do it for a year or 3 years or 5 years, but eventually you burn out. Not me. I was selling 500 to 600 homes a year for 25 years straight. Okay? I was doing the marathon. Here's the other thing I want you to consider. Not only did I have all this success as a real estate agent, but I've had massive success as a real estate coach. I have created more millionaire real estate agents, this is true, than any other coach or trainer or mentor. And the reason the other guys can't do it is they never made millions of dollars, and somebody that's broke can't teach you how to be rich. I'm sorry. But someone, if they haven't sold 500 or 600 homes a year, they're going to have a hard time telling you how to do it. Now, you might think, well, I don't want to sell 500 or 600 homes a year. I used to think that too, right? I've had people say, well, I really don't want to make $1 million a year. And I'll smile and I'll say, why? Did you try it and you didn't like it? What you believe is this paradigm that you have, what you probably believe is for you to make 2 or 3 or 4 times more money, it would require you working 2 or 3 or 4 times harder or longer hours. And you're thinking that would be like heart attack or divorce or I'd never see my kids. That's why we can't get to where you want to go doing it the way you're doing it. Okay, we have to it's been proven. I have to plug you into a proven system to help you get the money you want without you killing yourself or being a stranger to your spouse or your family, without you giving up your entire life to this. Otherwise, you're doing the sprint and you're going to burn out, and you know you're going to burn out. How many of you believe you came here for a reason today? Let me know if you enjoyed this. Let me know if you found this extremely helpful. And by the way, you can share this with any other realtor friend that you have. If you think this would benefit another realtor that you know, you can hit the share button, okay, and you can share it. But make sure you like this page, okay? You like this page and you follow me. Smash the like button, okay? Maybe give me a little heart. Let's give me some feedback as to how I'm doing. I'm going to tell you the other thing that does. Every time you put a comment in here or you smash the like button, it tells the Facebook algorithm, hey, people really like this. And if people really like it, if the algorithm thinks, well, people really like this Craig Proctor session, Facebook, the algorithm, will purposely show this to more real estate agents. I don't know how it works. I don't know how they know they're real estate agents, but the algorithm is so smart that the more engagement that I get on this, the more of you that type in a comment or you smash the like button, give me a little heart, whatever it is, you share it, that's engagement. And the more people that engage, the more Facebook will show this video, this training to more real estate agents. So that's a tip for you. When you're doing your videos, and I'll teach you the content, because you want to know, well, what do I say? A lot of it, you already know what to say. You know what to say to buyers and sellers. Do this, write down, what are the most common questions that buyers and sellers ask me? Those are some clues as to what your video topics are going to be about. Now, in the beginning, you might feel like kind of self-conscious, like I don't like the way I sound or look. Very normal. I never really watch my stuff. Can't stand listening to myself, right? So that's very normal. And understand though, but this is the way you show up at a listing appointment, right? So if you make a mistake, you stutter, you stammer, you just continue on with the video, right? Like you wouldn't get to a seller's house and 5 minutes into it, you stumble or stutter or whatever, say, oh, hang on, I'm going to walk out the door and come back in again. You wouldn't do that, right? People want to know the real you. The biggest battle that you're fighting is obscurity. And the biggest benefit you can do for you is to get yourself out there in the world, like I'm doing right now. Tens of thousands of real estate agents will eventually watch this, right? So I'm battling obscurity. Mission number one, I need to make sure that realtors know who Craig Proctor is. They understand my mission. They understand what makes me unique is I actually made millions of dollars every year selling real estate, that I was the top agent in the world for RE/MAX, that I created more millionaire agents than any other coach or trainer. Now, if I just started the video off like that, you would stop watching it, right? So I give you value. I want to tell my story. I want to offer all of you a free method to speak to me on one of these one-on-one. It's a Zoom meeting, by the way. It's a Zoom meeting. We'll be able to see each other. But you go to craigproctorcall.com, you click the link below, and we book a meeting. And we're going to teach you how to do this in your business. So if you did find this incredibly helpful, please let us know below. And thank you so much for watching this. I hope you found it helpful, and we'll see you next time. This is Real Estate Coach Craig Proctor. I want you to have a great day. Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon. Hi, this is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are two important things, and both are totally free. Number one is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're going to see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's going to let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.